Hey everyone, welcome back for another Hazy's Corner EDH Magic build. We're going to be building Belakor, the Dark Prince from Warhammer 40k Precons. Deck is going to be based on in tribal, flickering demons, and doing massive amounts of damage with demons entering the battlefield. Stay tuned. So here we have Belakor, the Dark Master. He's 6 mana, 3 colorless, blue, black, red. Flying, Prince of Chaos. When Belakor the Dark Master enters the battlefield, you draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of demons you control. He is Lord of Torment. Whenever another demon enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. He's from the Warhammer decks. He's my favorite Warhammer character. He's just a badass. He is the ruler of all demons. A lot of these cards that we were putting into the deck are already from the commander deck that he is from. So if you have that precon, you would just keep some of those cards in here, like Herald of Slaanesh, giving your demons haste and making your demons cost 2 less. Lord of Change, Flying Ward 3. When he enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. The Great Unclean One, another amazing demon. Beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 2 life. Then for each opponent who has less life than you, you create a 1/3 black demon creature token named Plagueburg Nurgle. You get this guy out, a couple demons created, boom, and then you play Belakor, drawing all those cards, or you already have Belakor out. Great Unclean One comes, he deals 4 damage to someone, and then because of that, you're going to create 3 demons most likely and deal more damage because of Belakor. It's great synergy. So every demon tribal deck has to have Liliana's contract. Whenever Liliana's contract enters the battlefield, you draw 4 cards and you lose 4 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game. Another great card for demons is Vergroth. Every time he attacks, you can pay 2 and tutor for any card, put that card on top of your library. Archfiend of Depravity, another great demon, control your opponent's board. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player has to choose 2 creatures that they control and then sack the rest. Runescarred Demon, just play that and then you tutor for a card. Dark Ritual, these demons cost a lot. We got to get that extra mana. Lord Xander, another great demon. He could be a secondary commander for the deck. Harvester of Souls. Death Touch. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may draw a card. Playing black, blue, red, so creature's going to be dying. Archfiend of Despair. Pricey card. 8 mana. Flying. Your opponents can't gain life. At the beginning of each end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life they lost this turn. Razaketh. Another 8 mana demon. Demons are big mana. Big mana. We're going to run a lot of mana rocks in this deck. Flying, Trample, pay 2 life, sacrifice another creature, you search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. Bark Double. Copying those commander abilities. Prince of Thralls. Expensive card. Probably won't see too much play, but if he does come out in more casual game or something, it's pretty fun. Thassa, she's not a demon, but she is a god, and she'll bounce your demons back and just keep proccing that Belakor ability. So at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 other target creature you control, and return that card to the battlefield under your control. So you exile one of these 8/8s at the end of your turn. That's another 8 damage to an opponent. Takashima. We just want to keep. We want to proc Belakor's ability multiple times with these big creatures to make them really pay off. Master of Cruelties, just a good demon. Then you get in with him and then you play another demon, defeat the person. Let's get some cheap demons in here too. So we'll run Dockside because we need the mana in this deck. in the card draw. So we'll run Soul Hoarder. So whenever a permanent owned by another player is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Losing life is fine. Commander. Displacer Kitten. We want to be bouncing these demons so they can keep coming back in, just dealing that damage. Silent Blade Oni. Run a anchor. Creatures cost so much, we gotta have something. And with that, we're gonna have a decent counter spell package in this deck, some removal, because we have to build up to being able to play these big cost demons. So we need Bedevil, we need Terminate. Ghostly Flicker lets you bounce those. So all these we're a mana drain. We displace these big demons. We just want to reuse them, reuse their abilities. Negate. Planar Incision. Fury's Time Twist. These are just cheap ways to get these high cost demons back on, exiling them and bringing them back to the battlefield, proccing Belakor's ability to deal damage. Write a Replication. That's gonna just create 5 token copies of. What if you have those demons we're running are 8/8/7/7s? You make 5 more of them. That's 32, 40 damage from 9 mana. 9 mana, but you're eliminating somebody. Run a Damnation. Board wipes are always good. Toxic Deluge. Reanimate. We want to be able to defeat our enemies after we can get that high. If we're waiting to where we can play 8 cost demons and they get board wiped, or we can't keep up again and rebuild our board, then we're gonna lose. Dreadbore, Dread Return. Turn target creature card from the graveyard to the battlefield. People are going to be getting rid of our creatures. Some sleepers in the deck. Panharmonicon. That's just going to double Belakor. His ability to do damage is doubled now. We're going to Conjurer's Closet, so that way we can choose any creature we want at the end of our turn and just bounce them back to the battlefield. Swiftfoot Boots, giving them haste and hexproof. Blade of Selves. Myriad is broken into the battlefield decks because we're going to give this to an 8/8 demon, and then every time it attacks, it's going to create 3 8/8s that enter the battlefield, dealing 24 damage a turn. Urza's Incubator. That's just going to let us get these demons out faster. Helm of the Host, another way to just really get Belakor. The more Belakors we have, the more damage we're doing. Every Belakor copy is going to do damage. Every Belakor copy is going to come in and draw you those cards and then do damage to an opponent. Quicksilver Amulet. It's a good card for when you're having these high cost demons. Instead of playing 8, pay 4, tap it, get your 8 mana, get your 8/8 demon, and now he's dealing 8 damage. Then you're playing all these bounce spells, so for 4 mana, maybe 6 mana, now you're doing 16 damage. Conjurer's Closet's out, now you're doing another 8 damage. Panharmonicon's out, that's a win. Collections of Lajara, be able to copy these. Even if the demon is legendary and you play it, the legendary token still enters the battlefield and dies. So you still get the double damage. So If Reflections of Lijar is out, Panharmonicon's out, that's gonna Reflections will make a copy of your big demon. Panharmonicon's gonna double both ETBs. 8 times 4 is 32. Someone's dead, or almost dead. Sneak attack. Another. You might have to sacrifice the creature, but if you have Conjurer's Closet out, you stack that trigger. Boom. You now that card comes back and he no longer has to disappear. So sneak attack is good for 1 red. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That creature gains haste. Sacrifice the creature at the beginning of the next end step. I believe that ruling is correct, where you can Conjurer's Closet past that to where the creature comes back from exile and no longer has to be sacrificed. Please correct me in the comments if I am wrong. Phyrexian Arena, just a great enchantment for black decks. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card, you lose 1 life. Just an extra card a turn. And we do need a Soul Ring, an Arcane Signet. All 3 of our guilds. Well, it's a shard actually. Grixis. Chromatic Lantern to help us with that mana fixing. There's Sphere, a Felwar Stone. I don't run signets. Said that in previous videos. We have the money, Mana Crypt, but I don't have the Mana Crypt. Carter. So we'll go back to some more demons here. Also, another good card for the deck would be Warstorm Surge. It's a 6 mana enchantment. You know, it might take up a turn getting this out, but this says whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. So now this also goes with Panharmonicon, your commander. So when these are out and your commander's out and you play a demon, even just a 5 power demon is now doing 10. Panharmonicon's out, it's doing 20 damage just when it comes out, and then if you Conjurer's Closet, it's doing another 20 when it enters the battlefield. So that is a 40 damage turn by just playing a 5 power creature. Just playing a 5 power creature. Not even attacking with your flying 6/6s and your flying 5/4s, your flying 8/8s. Plague Drone, another card from the precon. Just some stuff to help slow down opponents. If opponent would gain life, that player loses that much life instead. Blood Crusher of Thorn gives all your other creatures trample. So our big demons now can get through as well. I don't like Villas. People love them. I don't see the appeal for them. I mean, the card draw, I suppose, but for 8 mana and then pay life. I don't know. I'd rather just play Vargaroth and boast every turn. So we have to run a Rakdos Lord of Riots, because if we're doing 20 damage turn, it's gonna really discount our creatures. So he says creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each 1 life your opponents have lost this turn. So pretty much you'll just be paying for mana symbols. Also Carter, because when Carter enters the battlefield, creatures opponents control attack each combat if able and attack a player other than you. So it's another way of slowing down these opponents that are going to try to crush your demon kingdom. Herald's Horn, we want these discounts. We really want the discounts because these demons cost a lot. A lot. Orcus, just another way. He's going to come in as a 5, do some damage hopefully, and then also return up to X target creature cards with total mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. They gain haste. in the turn. So another way to really go into this deck is if we do the 20 damage with the 5/4 coming in with our artifacts and our commander out. We have Rakdos Lord of Riots out. Now our creatures cost 20 less. So that X inside of the Prince of Undeath is automatically 20 plus whatever else we put into it. So now you can return your big demons that maybe got board wiped or removed back to the battlefield, doing that damage if your commander's out, and probably winning you the game. Another low cost demon just for the early game. He could get big, he could gain you some life. And Reaper of the Abyss, another 6/6 demon with some removal on him. That's pretty much the deck, and the overall theme of the deck is to play the commander, hopefully maybe have some small demons out. If anything, you play him, you draw one card, you lose one life, and then you build into your demon army. So that way, whenever another demon enters the battlefield under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. So if you need to remove something, you want to kill a player, hopefully you have Belakor out, you get your artifacts out, your enchantments out, Warstorm Surge, all those cards that are gonna multiply that damage, so that when you play a 6/6 demon or even a 2/2 demon, quadrupled is still a lot of damage for 3 mana. Or this guy, whenever he comes in at your end step, and each opponent loses 2 life, so he's doing 6 damage himself. Then each opponent who has less life than you create a 1/3 black demon creature token. So that's 3 times 4, 12 damage just on the end step, plus Conjurer's Closet being able to exile a 6/6. So that's 40 something damage again at your end step. This deck can get crazy. Thank you for tuning in to AZ's Corner. Belakor, the Dark Prince, Warhammer 40K.